Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Oh, well, I beat you, so...
Hey, you know what?
What?
Congratulations.
Oh. I could have put money down that you were going to say your butt.
Oh, if anything, I would have said chicken butt. Obviously, I'm not an animal. Come on.
Oh, well. I mean, you were going to say an animal, so...
Yeah.
Nailed it.
All right, Nicole Byer. Relax.
Man, okay. I was just asking Chris, so... Nailed It and Queer Eye usually come out around the same time, right?
Generally, yeah.
So we're going to be getting more of them before the year is up, right?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm
not
Mr. Netflix, so I can't be certain.
And welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Bob Netflix.
My name's Robert Netflix.
My name is Robert Netflix. How are you enjoying my company today?
My name's Robert Netflix, and I love 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, God. My name is Robert Netflix, and I fucking love the Twilight Saga.
Hey.
No, we can't jump into our news that soon. We have ditties to talk about.
We got foreplay to get to first.
I know, that's true. I am so happy to be talking to you right now. Do you know that? Do you know that, Cody?
Thank you for vocalizing it, I guess. It's nice to feel appreciated.
Do you know what? I know we don't do this, and it's kind of like part of our routine now that we're 90 episodes in.
You're saying 90 years old.
I feel 90 years old.
I'm a haggard old man.
But hey, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Yeah, sup? Welcome.
If this is your first episode, sorry about it. This is not a great place to jump in.
Also do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, live your truth.
Who are we to say?
But I would love if you would... Why am I speaking like a robot? If you would... I think it's because I'm trying to clip my nails. I don't know why. This is where I'm at today.
Sure.
I would love it if you would recommend the podcast to a friend.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing better than Spooktober than telling your friends about a podcast about cryptids.
Yeah.
And abusive assholes. You know what I mean? Just, like, live your truth.
And, like, it's kind of unreal that there are so many people who've read Twilight and also have not listened to this podcast. You know what I mean?
For real, though.
You know what I mean?
I know you're joking, but... We got a review on not only iTunes, but also on Facebook recently.
I did see it on our Facebook page.
I know.
I kind of forgot we had one.
First of all, same. But we got a review on our Facebook page, which was the most pure thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
It was wholesome.
Where someone reviewed our podcast on there and was like, I discovered this last week, so I'm way behind, but it makes me so happy, and it's like a palate cleanser from the news. And I was like, hey... Fucking thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So great, thanks. So I'm just gonna get all that bullshit right out the top
just scrape
here.
out, like, the good stuff, and then we can get right into the bullshit.
Yeah, so, Cody, how the fuck you doing?
I'm good. As we've talked about before, I've spent many hours of this week consuming Andy Samberg content, which is a very weird place for me to be in.
I feel like that's a really appropriate place.
It's, yes, but not really as back-to-back as it was.
Sure.
Like, I watched Hot Rod one night, the next morning woke up at 8, and then watched Popstar. So, like, really that's kind of been my brain for the past couple days. And I feel a little sick.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
It's a lot of content.
Yes. I mean, your whole life is a lot of content.
That is also incredibly correct.
Yes. On a scale of 1 to 5, without spoilers for your work, how do you feel about it?
I give it like a 4.5. I'm alright. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe a humble 4. We'll see.
Whoa.
That was
I love it.
the realest this podcast's ever gotten. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All right, fucking pump the brakes.
As some of you may have seen on my Twitter today, this is coming out after this news happened, but today was Mean Girls Day.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of my students dress up in pink today.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only was it October 3rd, but it fell on a Wednesday, so like, hi.
The cosmos aligned.
Right, exactly. It was all meant to be. So that led to so many students kind of like begrudgingly wearing pink because they wanted to get some of our school currency, and then some just like full-heartedly leaning into the bit. Some who I realized after the fact that Mean Girls was a PG-13 movie, understandably so.
Sure.
And a lot of my students are not 13, and so I was like, oh, yikes. They may not have just reasonably seen the movie yet, but also they were born 2 years after the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, do you ever just feel like your bones are disintegrating when you say something like that? Do you ever just remember that the people you were teaching were born in 2006 and just die inside?
Yeah, I am a pile of dust speaking into a microphone right now.
When 2006 was happening, what I cared about, the LG chocolate.
Yeah.
What they cared about, literally breathing and surviving. Like pure sustenance.
Yeah.
What I cared about in 2006? Oh, that's a great question. I cared about ponchos.
Oh.
And I cared about clogs.
Oh my god.
What did they care about? They had to get their boogers sucked out by those, like, balloon things that parents use. What? Why? I don't understand.
Wow.
Anyways, just a sharp contrast to what was happening. If they knew, but if they knew that their teacher at that time had a blue knit Claire's poncho that she wore way more than she should have at that time.
Sure.
Yikes, McGikes is all I'm trying to say. Anyways, notable quote today from one of the students who, after the bell, ran screaming outside of my door saying, "The water is making frogs gay?"
Oh no.
So what is that?
Do you
Tell
not know
me.
what that is?
I legitimately, it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard.
Oh, Allie, it's like actually not great. I mean, it's like,
Is it bad?
well,
What is
kind
it?
of. I mean, I think now it's kind of like a meme, but
I
so
assumed it was a meme,
it's.
but I just had never heard of it
It is a
before.
meme, but it is a direct quote from Alex Jones.
No, it's not!
Yeah, that's like the most famous like Alex
my
Jones
God.
thing because like
I
he.
have him muted on Twitter,
That's
so I have no
that's
idea.
reasonable. I also think he got banned from Twitter, so it's fine.
But, like, I have his name muted on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, sure. So there's this big thing that, like, kind of resurged his whole show or whatever that, like, got it popular on the internet, that he was talking about these two, like, different, like, government programs that, like, actually existed, but, like, he definitely exaggerated them to the extent that, like, oh, people were, like, military officers were putting, like, water in, or, like, chemicals in the water to make, frogs gay, and also making, like, people gay, and, like, using it as, like, a tactic or whatever. And this, like, whole nonsense, ridiculous. And so there's this clip of him just, like, actually losing his mind and screaming and throwing a fit because he's like, he's also trying to defend himself. He's like, I don't care about, like, people being gay, but, like, can you tell them,
like-
right, but also, like, the government, I don't like the government make frogs gay, like, and then he, like, breaks down. It's unreal. But I think, like, now it's, like, a meme because it's been a while and, like, people have just, like, it's so ridiculous and outlandish.
Okay, because in context, the
Right.
way that the kids were doing it, they were screaming it, and then another kid came by and screamed it, and he was like, mood. And so I think they were doing it, like, as a meme.
Yeah.
And not because the kids that I was seeing were like,
No, I definitely
Consort-
don't think, could you imagine? Kids think that the frogs are gay.
I need to readjust my lesson plans for tomorrow.
Let's talk
but
about Alex
that's-
Jones.
No, God. But Jesus Christ. So, yeah, no, I've had his name. It's like, you know, on Twitter when you can, like, mute someone's name
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
God, I've had it for so long. Yikes. That's awful. But that is an important segue to one of the other conversations that I had with my students today. I know that previously we have talked about costumes that we want to be, or we have been in previous years. Cody, what you going to be this year for Halloween?
Ew. That's a good question. I feel like, have we talked about this, or am I just conflating conversations I've had at work? Yeah, we have talked about this, because I remember saying
We talked
this 'cause
about
you
this off the pod.
No, we said this on the podcast. Because you
swear to God.
revealed that, like, you had never seen Princess Bride before.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked. We did this, like, 2 weeks ago.
But I didn't tell you what I was going to be.
Okay, can you tell me what you're going to be following?
I can. So, we're going back to Portland for Halloween, and then we're also staying here as well.
Uh-huh.
So there are 2 couples costumes that we are doing this year. I don't think that we've decided which one is happening for which.
Sure.
But the first one that Chris and I decided on, and I think it came because the fact that our first Spooktober movie this year was Phantom at the Megaplex.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Phantom of the Megaplex. Holy shit, if you haven't watched it in a while, would recommend. But, so the first costume that we're going to be is Xenon and Protozoa.
Oh, that's good.
So, it's going to be very good. I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
Yeah.
The second one that we're going to be, and I'm very excited for this one, is it's the Spider-Man meme. So, we're both going to be in Spider-Man costumes. And we're just going to be like, wherever we
pointing
go,
at each other.
we'll just be pointing at each other.
I fucking hate you.
So, just to peek at the kimono a little bit, folks, I told Cody like 2 days ago when we figured out what costumes we were going to be, but I intentionally told Cody I wasn't going to tell him, and we had to do it on the
Ma'am.
pod. Specifically for this reaction, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good costume idea.
Thank you.
And very timely, you know?
Right.
This is the
Yeah,
year to
and-
do it.
Well, that's why, there's been so much talk about Spider-Man this year, so we really
I
want
do
it to
wish
happen.
that you guys could be Travis Scott falling in auto-tune, though.
Well, I mean, we can't all be Superman, you know what I mean? We can't all be perfect, so.
That's fair.
So yeah, so we'll keep you updated, but it just seems perfect to just have such a quality meme, you know? Could you do me the favor and switch your newscaster voice on so we can talk about these current events?
Yeah.
So we'll welcome back to the show Robert Netflix. Because
Hi, thank you for having me. My name's Robert
Thank you.
Netflix.
So, Robert, hi. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yes, of course.
Shut the fuck up. We want to talk to you about Netflix, and by Netflix we mean you and your company that you
Yes, of course.
so
Yep.
humbly named after your last name. Which, first of all, can we take a minute? Please remind me after the show to talk to you about the etymology of your last name and where that comes from. But anyways, so Netflix, you brought back the Twilight Saga for Spooktober. Can you please explain and tell me everything, please? And thank you.
I did, yes. I just did a whole bit for what if I just become Robert Netflix?
Can you, for Halloween, please be Robert Netflix?
What would that look like?
I don't know, but I want it really bad.
Okay, listen, fuckers. My name's Robert Netflix, and, and Twilight's coming back to Netflix.
It's here.
It's here on October 9th. It's not
Yeah.
here. She's not here. But
It'll
she's
be
coming.
Tuesday, it'll be tomorrow when you all are listening
Right,
to
so
this.
yeah, fucking keep refreshing for the next 12 hours. And all of the movies.
All
Every
of
last one of them.
even,
And people are excited.
I've never... Can I take a day off work? Like, can I...
Oh,
I'm so
here's the
excited.
thing that I am realizing right now.
Please.
Is this only on UK Netflix?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Because they quoted someone from the UK.
The other one that I saw said that it was also coming to the US, but I only saw it on one other.
Interesting.
So Robert, hey, Robert.
Oh, this is a United States publication, so probably.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, so yes, Netflix. I don't know. I'm sorry. I needed to fix my nose.
Excuse
Anyway, so yes, in theory, the Twilight Saga is coming to Netflix. Cody, we made the mistake of not talking about A Simple Favor over the last 2 weeks, and I highly regret it because I went to go see that. Did you see that movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to, but I just don't have time. I'm watching too much Andy Samberg content.
Okay, so I saw it. It must have been 2 weeks ago now.
Uh-huh.
Cody?
Yeah.
It's the gayest movie I've ever seen, and I lost my goddamn mind in that theater. I was literally pulsing with energy. I was so happy the whole time I was watching that movie. Oh my God.
There's a lot of pantsuits.
Oh my
and
Christ.
Blake Lively is just like, mwah.
It's the best. It's so good. If you haven't seen it yet, please do, because it's everything that you've ever wanted. And, oh my God, yes. I just saw an advertisement for it next to Robert Netflix's discussion of the Twilight Saga, and that's what reminded me of it. Holy shit. I would do a whole discussion of it if we had time, because, my God.
Sure, yeah.
So, yes, when you do get to see it, let me know, because we can talk about it in full length.
Yeah.
Yes, so continuing on the Twilight track here, we got some news from Catherine Hardwicke, who said that... Why am I still talking about this? Well, she was talking in this interview that even though in Twilight's casting, it was calling for vampires with, like, pale skin or whatever, she wanted more of a diverse cast.
Uh-huh.
And so she's quoted as something as, like, Stephenie Meyer saw the casting choices and that she was involved a bit, but she didn't have too much, like, interaction and stuff like this. And so Catherine Hardwicke herself had wanted more involvement in that area to make it more diverse than just the pale skin that we associate with the vampires.
Sure.
Which, fair, but then why didn't that happen, though?
Yeah, she really is just like... Stephenie Meyer's Mormon, so clearly she didn't see it that way. It's like, yeah, I guess, but I feel like you got a lot of control as the director of the film.
Right.
And if there's one thing I don't know anything about John Green, but what he loves to say is that the writer of the book really has nothing to do with casting. He loves saying that.
Yeah, so how was she involved? And maybe 2008 was a different time, but, like, I doubt it.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it just very much felt like a way to make this conversation relevant again, but there was nothing that came out of that conversation that was productive. In any sense.
Yeah, like, what are we actually gaining from this information? It's like, it's a whole fucking trend we're doing now, which is, like, retroactively, like, wanting to add in stuff, or, like, adding things that are, like, actually representative of other communities, or whatever, that you didn't do the first go-around, or being like, oh, I wish I had the chance, but, like, that really does nothing.
Exactly. I don't know. Are you planning to see the new Fantastic Beasts movie?
I haven't seen any of them. I don't give a fuck. I am so over it. I want Ezra Miller to get his coin. That's all that I care about, and I know he will. So I don't have to help.
Right. That whole series is just like, you did this to the thing that we all loved.
Yeah.
Rude.
Like, you had it in your hands. You had a perfect thing.
You had a thing that you were guaranteed we were all gonna buy, and then you took it and you did this?
Yeah.
Why?
What?
Anyways.
Your
it's
fucking
just
agent
annoying.
Needs to be fired. And also you need
For
to
reals.
be fired from...
Real. I have a tattoo of this. Stop.
Stop tainting
Shut
it.
up.
Hey.
And also, like, leave my taint out of this. Like, just stop. Speaking of butts.
Yeah. Always speaking about butts.
For real. Dakota Johnson has 2 movies coming out this month.
She's fucking getting to the bag, alright?
For real. That movie star family, you know, always making that paper.
I mean, yeah, I guess she just got a little assistance there. But she's really killing it.
I know. And both of them seem very interesting.
Yeah.
They're very intriguing movies.
I'll let you know, I've seen The Bad Times at the El Royale trailer probably like 7 times in theaters.
God.
And I still have no fucking clue what that movie's about.
Oh no, I couldn't tell. If
Like,
someone
even
had
a little
me at
bit.
gunpoint.
Yeah, no, I'd be like,
The only thing I know is that there's dice in it, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Someone
all I
says,
know.
like, management, and that's it. Like,
someone says housekeeping, I think.
and what's his face? I forget his name. Is like, you know what? I'm not actually a pastor. It's like, no shit, fucking this guy. You look like the scariest man in this hotel.
Yeah, it looks like it's in legitimately like Bates Motel,
Yeah,
but it's not, and I'm so intrigued.
And also, every famous person that's ever lived is in that movie.
For real?
It's
For
like,
real.
I have to, like, it's like watching tennis. Like, my neck is gonna fucking break for all the people I gotta look at.
Oh my god. Okay, so speaking of that, just sidebar nation before we continue talking about Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
I just have a few. Today's gonna be sidebar nation, folks, so buckle up.
Yeah.
I went to go see an early screening of First Man this week.
Uh-huh.
And we were in the front row, like nosebleeds
Yeah.
for this movie. And listen, don't get me wrong. I was so excited for this movie. It's space.
Yeah.
It's Neil Armstrong. Like, it's awesome. It's everything that I've ever wanted. And Claire Foy's in it. Like, listen, hey, don't get me wrong. They were the comfiest seats, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I had also worked all day. I can't tell you anything that happened in that movie. I fell asleep. And also, there were so many shots in that movie, Cody, that were just fucking Ryan jostling around.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see shit. And it was giving me such a bad headache that I had to close my eyes. And I was like, well, I already have my eyes closed. I'll just take a nap time.
Why cut the middleman? Let's just get to it. Let's hit the road.
The movie theaters, listen, hey, movie theaters, there's a fine line. You should not give a standard seat that does not tilt back. You should also not give me a seat that tilts all the way back, because I will fall asleep
That's just
in your
irresponsible.
theater. That's just not safe.
No.
You gotta find a middle between those.
Yeah.
You have to find your Goldilocks chairs.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You hear that, Arnold AMC?
Did you
Larry
hear that?
Landmark?
Did you hear that, Richard Theater? Dick Theater? Anyways, that's just my 2 cents today, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Also, Suspiria looks good.
Yeah. But we been new.
Yeah, we knew that. We have a question
Yeah.
today. Guns versus special vampire abilities. Which is worse to read about?
Ooh. Excellent question. I feel like, and I can't vouch for this because we haven't seen the second 50 Shades movie yet.
Sure.
But the vampire abilities are far worse to watch than it is to actually read about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when reading about it, I'm kind of like, alright, this is silly vampire stuff, but, like, it's not, I don't feel bad reading it. Or, like, I'm not having a great time.
Right.
Reading about guns, the 50 Shades of Grey, is all bad all the time.
Yes. I agree. I think, in theory, this movie should not be awful to watch on paper.
Right.
It should just be a lot of panoramic shots of Seattle.
Or, yes.
It should just be a lot of sailboats.
Yep.
And it should be a lot of butts.
Yeah, and also a human auction. But, like, other than that...
Well, yeah, I mean...
Super great.
Oh.
Excuse me? Do you have a gong in your home? Is this how you signaling for time now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, so we are officially at the 30-minute mark. No, I hit my bracelet against my hydro flask, and I swear to God, I could, like, hear that reverberate in my soul.
That is a heavy-duty hydro flask.
This hydro flask, I swear to God, could knock somebody out. I have the thick boy, not the, like, small hydro flask, but the, like... but it's the, like, the 40-ounce one.
Oh my God.
And it's so heavy to carry, but I rarely, like, I don't have to fill up my water bottle as much throughout the day, which makes it so nice.
Sure. Just never
anyways.
call your hydro flask a thick boy ever again.
But Cody, it's the truth.
What am I gonna do? Lie?
It's how I feel. Anyways.
Stop censoring my feelings.
It's a apparently it also doubles as a gong. So that's just where I'm at today. Yeah, so reading, here's what I'll say. Reading 50 Shades, I agree with you, is worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have to say, I don't know, watching Twilight, as cathartic as I personally enjoy it, I would say for the most part, for most people is probably worse. Because I bet for the majority of people, having butts, it does it for them, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So, that's fair. As much as I personally like to see vampires fly throughout the sky. But that's just me.
Yeah.
We have 2 awful chapters to talk about.
Boy, does it get bad.
It gets so bad, folks, and I almost don't want to talk about them today. Like, we could talk about anything else. We could talk about, maybe for once in our lives, something good that we enjoy.
Yeah.
But instead, we can't take a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
What if we did, Cody? What if one of these days we just took a bye week and we didn't read, and we just talked about things we liked instead? Cody, what if our 100th episode is just our bye week? You know what I mean?
What if God was one of us?
I gotta go. I'm gonna fucking ring this gong again.
That's the sound of the bye week.
Yep. Yeah, it's a gong now. All right, chapter 15. You all cannot see my show notes at this time. Well, maybe you can when this episode is posted. But I have littered the first page of chapter 15 with highlights because it starts off in the worst way possible. We left off chapter 14 with Anna dipping out and telling Christian to fuck off because she needed to go and cry about things.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes you gotta do that.
Because he kind of put a lot of shit on her all at once.
Right. And, sometimes you just gotta do that.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. Christian does a lot of things all at once that are super gross. And we could spend hours talking about, but would be boring. Instead, I will try to make them short and snappy. As soon as Anna starts crying, Christian says, "Hey, don't. Stop. Stop crying. Stop that." Which is always incredibly helpful when you're in the middle of crying.
That'll do it,
That always does it for me,
And just like that, alleviated from tears and sadness.
Yep, it always is just gone. He starts to hold her, and apparently, according to E.L. James' fantastic narrative mastery, they stay like that forever.
That's it. The end of the book.
It's the end of the book.
They die there.
The epilogue continues with her saying that they fell asleep briefly, and Christian was wrapped around her like a vine. Now, as you will notice, throughout these 2 chapters, this imagery continues quite a bit, with E.L. James loving this vine imagery. What I would like to posit with all of you for a moment is, what if, instead of an actual vine, he was wrapped around her like a digital vine? And here's my question for you, Cody.
Boy.
What kind of vine would he be to comfort her?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think of anything that Anna would find funny, and I am drawing blanks.
Oh, is that because we don't know anything about her?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a weird thing that you would say.
Yeah, right?
Seeing as
because we just know so much about her that, like, obviously something would clearly come to mind.
Yeah, that's a weird thing for you to say, seeing as we're 2/3 of the way through our second book in this trilogy.
Yeah.
Here's the one that came to mind for me, for him to comfort her. It's, it would have to be either the chicken, the plastic chicken one,
course,
because that does it for everybody.
A classic. Universal appeal.
Yep. It would also have to be the roadwork sign
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's very much her humor.
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's funny, because, like, language and, like, semantics, you know what I mean?
Right.
Fuck off, and I was just trying to help. Now you're being the worst.
And now you're just the worst person. She wakes up in the middle of the night, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, as you do, the witching hour.
Yeah.
But instead of seeing a ghost this time, she's just cried herself to the point where she's dehydrated, needs some ibuprofen and a drink, as you do.
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that sometimes. She gets up, and sees the sky and starts to contemplates things like, oh, we all look like his mom, the one that he wants to beat because he's a sadist. Cool.
Yeah.
She
also does it with like a little bit of joy. She's like, "Oh, I look just like his mom." It's like, no, Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Anna.
Not a good thing.
That's not cute.
It's not a good look.
No.
Not the look you are aiming for.
No.
She wants to continue this little therapeutic thoughtfulness that she's having. But she is interrupted by Christian screaming out in what seems like pain. And so she runs into the bedroom to find that he is having a nightmare and starts yelling at her, as you sometimes, well, when you're disoriented, sometimes that happens in a nightmare, but then it quickly just transitions to him just being Christian and yelling at her, because she left him, and that is why he had a nightmare, because that's how things work.
And yeah, all of this trauma that she's been having to deal with now doesn't matter, because like
Sure.
he got a little bad dream.
Right.
He got a little bad.
And instead of all
Anna's fucking dealing with the fact that she and every other person in Christmas slept with looks like his mother.
Yep. And instead of Christian using the normal coping mechanisms like we all do and starts watching some Robert Netflix, he just calls out to the first person he sees and blames them for having a nightmare.
Right,
now, how about that, Christian?
Yeah.
You little shit.
Turn on some Bake-Off. Fucking cool it. Alright?
Exactly.
Jesus.
Have some of that frozen over ice cream with ice chips on it that you didn't realize you still had in the freezer.
Yeah.
And just live your truth.
Yeah.
Anyways, as Christian usually does, he copes with a lot of emotions by just having sex. Super healthy, really good.
Great. Yep. Good for everyone involved, really.
Super great. And so Anna's like, cool, yeah, sex. And then she's like, oh, wait, no. I look like his mom. I'm into that? No, Anna, not into that. And so she's like, no, Christian, I'm not really into this right now. We should probably not do this. Now, I want you to pause, audience, and I want you to think about this really quick about how much we know about Christian. Does A, Christian listen to her and respect her boundaries and go back to sleep? Or B, do they fuck anyway? Go ahead and place your answers now into your phone, and we'll wait. Oh, that's so wild. My phone is buzzing, Cody. I don't know about yours.
Mine's broken. It's just it's exploding.
Yeah, I think my gong back there just cracked from all the answers that I got. Yeah, they fuck anyway.
Yeah.
So, as usual with Christian, when he senses any sort of abandonment coming from her, he, quote, gives in and like gives her something she wants, quote unquote. And so for this one, it's putting her on top, so she gets power. You know what I mean?
That's how that works. He just saved sexism. It's over. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, R.I.P. 2018.
Yeah, pour one out. She's dead.
Yeah, all I could imagine during this was Janelle Monáe with like everything is sex. Everything is about sex except sex, which is about power. Yeah. And I was like, bye.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Yes. So anyways, they have sex. Oh, no, sorry. I can't be done with the sex scene yet because Anna is so wrapped up in the situation that she is having a difficult time orgasming. Yep. And so Christian, the ever supportive lover, says, come on, baby, I need this. Give it to me. Like the sex robot that he is.
Yep.
And so at that point, all she needed was the verbal encouragement. And so E.L. James says, quote, and I explode, my body a slave to his.
What?
And so what I'd like you to do, folks, is if you're continuing with your bingo boards, just go ahead and rip them up and throw them into the fire.
I could walk into the ocean. Never be seen again. Never.
Yep.
Just don't look back. Just keep going.
Yep.
It's
Just
better
keep
up
on
there
walking.
than in here.
We'll continue the episode. Just keep going until you can't hear us anymore. It's totally fine.
We'll understand. It's fine.
So, fun fact, Cody, I wear a microphone while I teach, just because it's easier for my students, and it saves my voice as well.
Sure.
And one of my students today came up to me, and they were like, Miss Johnson, you sound like an airplane pilot. And I was like, yes, I do. And so I just started fucking mimicking the air. I was like, all right, folks, welcome to your, and like when they wouldn't shut up when the bell rang today, I was like, all right, folks, welcome to flight 607. Your exits are on these sides here. The exit windows are here. And I just went on like the whole fucking spiel, right? Because everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You pretend like you're not listening to the flight attendants, but you
know.
fucking know it. You fucking know it. If someone made you get up there. If someone made you get up there, you could fucking do the hand motions even if you don't know what they're saying. And so I got to the point where I was like, all right, make sure to put your mask on before you do someone else's. And then they were like, what the fuck are you doing, Ms. Johnson? And I was like, this is what you get when you aren't paying attention to me. I'm doing some good bits. And they were like, we don't have a slide in here. And I was like, listen, that's the problem you had with this? Not that we were on a flight in class today.
Like, hey, wait a minute. If there was a slide, I would have been out of here minutes ago.
I know. It was so funny. Anyways, so they go to bed. They wake up, because this is an E.L. James novel. Then Anna goes to work. She doesn't want to go to work, but she goes to work.
She's a respectable businesswoman securing the
does.
bag. All right?
Yeah.
It's admirable.
I respect it. Listen, there's some days we all don't want to go to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When she gets there, she's like 15 minutes late, because Christian was tempting her to stay, and so he like made her be late, which rude. You may own the company, but that's still a dick move.
Right.
And so anyways, when she gets there, her boss, Jack, is being like an ultra dick the whole time.
More than usual.
More than usual. And he doesn't really explain why. So there's a whole bunch of like emails that are exchanged between Anna and Christian throughout the day of him being like, please use your BlackBerry, oh, and marry me. But then he like keeps emailing her. There's like a conversation between her and Jose being like, hey, remember me? I'm in this story too.
Yeah, also, remember when Christian bought every photograph of you I've ever taken? That's coming back.
Right. We also find out, I think it's in this chapter, we find out a confirmation that show was a week ago when it feels like honestly months.
What?
I know.
That's not real. That was that was a year ago.
I think it might be in next chapter that we find out the confirmation that Anna and Christian have only known each other for 3 weeks.
What?
And they say that like in here. And I was honestly shook. I thought it was at least like 2 months at this point, which isn't any better.
No, but like that's less than a month?
I know.
Buck wild. I feel like I've been here for 84 years.
This has never stopped. We've only ever been reading 50 Shades.
That's it. There's only one book, and it's 50 Shades of Grey.
And she hasn't even gotten through like a full period cycle. What?
Yeah, oh my god.
Like
this motherfucker proposed after 3 weeks? Alright, Pete Davidson, fucking what are we doing here?
I know. Anna tries to go to lunch. It like doesn't work because Jack's like, you can't eat here. It's totally normal. Totally healthy. Christian's sister Mia calls and is like, hey, so Christian's birthday's coming up. It's on Saturday. Just wanted to invite you to the party that you obviously know about. And Anna's like, cool. Totally knew about that. Bye. And then she's like, wait a second.
Hold on.
That suddenly remembers she's known this person for 3 calendar weeks and didn't know when his birthday was, but was totally fine getting married to him. Great. Totally normal.
None of this is normal.
No. They joke about his birthday over email. The plan is for her to leave at 6:15 after Jack leaves for New York, which he had, remember, I think it was last week we talked about, he has to go alone now because Christian was all moody, broody. You can't go. Exactly. So anyways, 6:15 comes around. She hasn't eaten all day. She's ready to leave. She goes into the kitchen to see if there's any cookies left. You know, your 6 o'clock cookie time.
Yeah. Who took the cookies from the cookie jar? The communal work cookie jar?
You know.
It was Anastasia
where there's
Steele.
Yep. So she goes down to the cookie jar that her work totally has. And who's there but Pissy McWissy, Jack.
Doing like a full lunge in the middle of the break.
He's like, oh, I wasn't expecting you here.
But also just like huffing. He's so
I know. He definitely hasn't been holding that pose for like a half hour.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? Have you noticed how great my calves look today? Anna?
God, he's like the ultimate Gaston, you know?
He is.
The problem is it's not like a funny chauvinistic thing. It's a predatory, assaulty kind of chauvinistic thing that he's doing.
Real and abusive in hostile in the work environment kind of way.
Yep. And so the chapter ends with him being like, rubbing his hands together, being like, ha, 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 ha. Because he literally is like, I have you on my own, and then he like licks his lips, which like, ugh.
My dude.
Anyways, this is a good time as we start chapter 16, where we're going to be talking about some blackmail-y assault shit for a little bit. So just go ahead and skip like 10 minutes probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jack's the worst. Yep. And this chapter's the worst. Mm-hmm. Especially because apparently E.L. James has no concept of how to move a story forward other than let's just put Anna's life in peril because of a man and have Christian
At every turn.
Right.
It's like, oh, you can't have any, like, autonomy or different sides of yourself without that being compromised by some, like, creepy predatory dude that Christian can just like rescue you from. It's like, how about we don't do that?
Yeah, what if instead we just don't do that?
How about we construct stories differently?
She just doesn't know how to do them is my problem.
No. But it's weird that this is the one that she knows. Like this is so specific and she does it every time.
Jack decides to get all like tinfoil hat on Anna.
Yeah.
And is like, are you a spy?
Fucking narc.
But it's the weirdest thing. Yeah, because he's like, so I really fought to have you in this company, and now your emails are disappearing, and you're not doing anything, and it's because of this man, and I just don't understand, like, who do you work for? And she's like, you. Like,
what?
And he's like, that's the wrong answer. And it's a very confusing interaction that they have here because he quickly switches from this of like, your boyfriend is the worst. What did your rich Ivy League boyfriend do? And then he's quickly turning it into like, I know Christian made it so that I can't have you in New York, and now that means that you need to like keep me happy while we're here. Ugh. And all this shit. And
because that's how that works.
Right. And so it quickly turns into this whole like he's gonna blackmail her for sex and stuff.
Anna's reaction to this is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she's, like, a little scared, but she's mostly confused about the fact that anyone would want to have sex with her. It's like, girl, we are past this. Can we, like, get some instincts here? Can we get some fight or flight situation going on here?
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, she's just like, oh my god, like, this guy wants to have sex with me? With me?
Oh, yeah.
He's blackmailing me for sex? Me?
Her...
Anastasia Steele playing Jane Anastasia Steele? You know what, Anna? We've established you're desirable, alright? You got the fucking richest man in the world fucking you all the time. Can we just, like, move a little bit past that character development? A little bit.
her self-esteem is so bad that in this moment, it could have legitimately got her killed.
Right.
What?
Absolutely. Ma'am. Come on.
I am confusion. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
This is what you are telling millions of women to look for.
It's like, hey, this shit's really gross, but at least he's, like, attracted to her, right? This girl who's not attractive to anyone. She's just, like, a regular schmegular gal, like everyone reading this. Come on. Fuck off.
Ugh. Anyways, so this, like, sort of, he does end up touching her, and then what does she do? She fights back
She's like a jujitsu move.
She does. She just kind of is like, nope. And oh, that's what she does. So she takes his hand and she, like, bends his finger back, and then, like, knees him in the groin, and then she's like, "Lol, bye," and gets outside.
Is this meeting over? Because I gotta go home.
Right. The only problem is that she hadn't eaten anything, and so her blood sugar is, like, way donezo. So by the time that she gets out, she's, like, done. Christian and Taylor are outside, and so then we get into what I personally think is the worst part of this chapter.
Yep.
And so it gets into this whole, like, pages of Taylor going in and taking care of Jack. And then Christian and Anna fighting outside because Christian is mad at Anna for literally nothing.
No reason. And here's the fucking thing, right? Because, like, he's pissed because she wasn't using the BlackBerry and she was still emailing him from the work computer, and that's how Jack found out about, like, relationships or whatever, and, like, things that might have been compromised or whatever. But, like, Christian had the idea to delete his emails from the server.
Yeah.
But it did not delete Anna's. I just feel like, what? Why are we doing this? Like, you are literally setting her up to have this interaction. If you're so scared, because every fucking second email is like, hey, people are monitoring the servers, which is not how that works. But he's like, people are watching, higher ups are watching, and so he's very careful about his emails. So when when he's deleting his from the server, maybe take the 2 extra seconds to do that to the other person involved in the situation.
Right.
And then, if you don't do that, why are you mad at her for something she had no control over?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
What?
I have the same questions. This whole thing is the worst. They eventually, Christian does his, like, oh, I'm so powerful thing, rawr, where he calls and apparently gets Jack fired and all this stuff. It's gross and whatever. And during this whole time, when they get back in the car, Christian isn't talking to Anna because he's a child.
Sure.
When they get back to his place, he's like, don't you understand? I was only mad at you because I was worried about you, and that's a healthy way to show emotion. It's gross. The thing I wanted to mention about this, though, is when they get back to his place, E.L. James finally says Master of the Universe. And if I remember right, wasn't that the title of the fanfic?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yikes, is all I'm trying to say. It's gross. Yeah. So that is what it was called. And it's just like, okay, so that's what you think that he is? But yeah, so they have more conversations about Jose and Mrs. Jones and how they're supposedly the same in their book. And the chapter starts to wind down because Christian has to go work. So Anna gets bored. That leads to her going into the playroom.
Sure.
And, as that happens, I feel like Christian's spidey senses went off. As soon as she got into the playroom, I was like, something's happening.
But, there's a presence in here.
I know. And so he went in there somehow, saw that she was going through the drawers. And so the chapter ends with them, like, going through the playroom together, talking about all of these tools and toys.
Sure.
And instruments that are in there. He talks about wanting to use one in his room and not in the playroom. The part that I wanted to discuss with you, though, is the fact that he equates his abusive tendencies inside and outside of the playroom to one of an alcoholic. Because, first of all, no. No, that's not how that works, though. That's E.L. James. Sorry, I don't know that you understand how abuse works, and that you understand how substance abuse works, because those are two very different things. They end up kissing each other, getting back into his room, and using this kind of spreader thing, which they both seem to like. Great. Sounds fun for them. The thing that I wanted to mention about this is he's also talking about, like, I'm really glad that we don't have to use, I think that he also mentions, like, we'll try this, like, if it's too uncomfortable, tell me to stop. And it's like, okay, good.
Sure. Yeah.
But, yeah, I couldn't get over the fact that he was just like, I want to do this somewhere else, because if I do it in the playroom, then I'm just going to want to have to be a sadist to you. And it's like, E.L. James, I don't know if this is how you should be writing this stuff.
No.
But the chapter ends with them having sex, them ending the sex times, them falling asleep doing the, like, always thing, because Anna's like, I never want to leave you, and Christian's like, I need you, and it's like, oh, gross. You're both the worst.
Psych, actually.
You're both so nasty. And that's where the chapter ends. It's so gross. This whole book is the worst. Yeah. We are 75% of the way through with it, and I just don't understand what could possibly keep going.
What
else is there to say?
Just stop.
I don't get it. Next week we're going to be reading chapter 17 and 18.
Yep.
And I accidentally read a chapter ahead this week because I was tired and I didn't realize what I was doing. No. And it doesn't get better is all I'm going to say.
I love that.
So October means we have more opportunities for patrons. And so, again, this is a fantastic plug that if you haven't told a friend, do it. But we're going to thank our patrons who, for real though, you're the best.
For real though.
And to thank you all, you should have, if you didn't already, we'll be getting a treat in the mail. So check your mailbox in the next couple days. To thank them, though, we have some, I don't know, Cody, could you explain what we're going to be using for them today?
So there's an article by Clever, a listicle, if you will, of tweets, many of which in this year or in the last few years, openly just thirsting for Robert Pattinson.
Oh, they're very good, too.
They're very good.
So, I would love to thank one of our patrons, Shannon Clearwater, who is going to be, and keep in mind, these tweets have been bleeped out. So, the tweet that I'm going to use today is from @myfuckingfears, and it's, Dear Robert Pattinson, blank in my eyes so I can see our future kids. Greetings.
Oh.
What does that mean? What is the blank there, Cody? I want to know. But it's, and that was from 2016.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Katie Weber. This is not censored, but it is foul. I wish it was. It's from Mad About Rob, and it says, when I get to heaven, I'm asking to come back as #Robert Pattinson's dog, so I can lick him and hump his leg. LOL. That's not weird, is it? Question mark.
Oh my god. I gotta go.
Yeah, I need to leave.
And this, I would love to thank Simon Steele, our $25 patron. This one is from Pokey Ugly, and it is Robert Pattinson. Mate, I'd bloody let ya bleep me up my ear hole, isn't it?
Wow.
What does that mean?
Oh,
what is happening to that person's ear? So, You know.
He's just giving an exam, like an ear exam.
For real. Cody, I'm so pleased to tell you today that we have a fan fiction that was sent in by someone.
Wow, what's it like to have fans? I know now.
What is it like when people do shit? You know what I mean?
I'm into it.
So this week, Hannah P sent in this fanfiction. So thank you so much, Hannah P. This fanfiction was written by the author this_is_my wonderland. And it was posted on a site called Wattpad. Are you familiar with Wattpad?
I am familiar, yes.
Great. I'm not. It's the first time I've used Wattpad.
I mean, I haven't, used it, but I am aware of it being similar and cringy, fan fiction.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. There's a fucking cast list next to this.
No.
So here's the thing. This is called Unacceptable Mates. It says next to it, Twilight fanfiction for Bella and Caius. Here's a summary. What happens if, when Bella saved Edward in Italy, she finds out the truth about her actual mate? What happens if it's not Edward that she was supposed to be with for the rest of her life? What happens if it was Caius, one of the head Volturi, is her actual, and then it cuts off, but I think it says mate. I'm going to be reading from the prologue today, and this gives me statistics, and it says that this prologue has been read 15,000 times.
Whew.
So, do with that what you will.
I hate it.
Great, thank you. So, joining the cast today from this Wattpad fanfiction is also me, playing the role of everybody, so enjoy. What? No? How can this happen? Bella, I don't exactly know, but you have to understand that you are no longer Edward's true mate, but you are of Caius. Even though he doesn't want a human mate, the blonde vampire spoke of himself in third person. Okay. Just accept it, Bella, because you've got no other choice, Jane said with an evil smile. Knowing her, I knew she was enjoying this. No, I won't. No, you know what? Forget it. You're just doing this because of what? Aro said. I don't know. Foolish girl doesn't even know what she wants. Hey, this girl who is standing right here has a name, and she is not foolish. Same Bella. Aro, what's the whole point? I don't want her to be my mate. She doesn't want me to be hers. Can we just forget about it? Fine, but Bella, you are staying here in Italy no matter what. Why? Just because we want to keep a close eye on you. As soon as Aro said that, I stormed out of there. I can't handle all of this right now. Not when I just found out that Edward was just a part of a phase in my faith. Edward. Now starting to think of it, where is he? I mean, I came here to Italy to stop him from killing himself, and as soon as Jane came in, I didn't see him again. He just vanished. Ugh, whatever. I'm so sick of it. This whole vampire shit. I can't. End scene.
Same. You know?
Such a mood.
Okay. Alright, Wattpad, I see you.
I just, do you ever just in Italy find out you have a new soulmate, but you're just gonna walk out of here because you're done anyway?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk into the fucking ocean and never look back.
Hey, everyone. We're winding down to the end of Into Twilight here. This is just a reminder to keep walking into the ocean until we tell you that you're done.
Stop. You can't stop. You have to keep going.
Eventually, you will reach your destination, so just keep reminding yourself that you are on the right path. And we're going to keep guiding you there as we move on today, but as we say in Seattle, and get whipped.
If a flight attendant ever told me to get whipped, I would jump out of the plane.
This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.